I could listen to the Hebrew scriptures like a first century Jew would have heard them. Jews, ancient Hebrews, heard scripture somehow with their heart. They internalized what they were hearing to a place that we have a hard time getting to. You see, once the Enlightenment happened, once we began to learn to read for facts, once we began to read, to take in information, I think we lost reading Scripture so it could touch our hearts. It's not our fault. We're people of the Enlightenment. We're people of a sophisticated age, and that's how we've been taught to read. We take in information when we read. And we so often miss the point that the old people, the old Hebrew, didn't have trouble with. You see, by the time of this reading from Isaiah 35, the old Hebrews, the old Jews, had seen the fall of Israel, and then they saw the fall of Judah. In other words, both of the great capital cities of the people had come crashing down. And by the time of this reading from Isaiah, the people are in captivity, carried off, at least the leaders and enlightened ones were carried off to Babylon, where they could have them to keep an eye on. They had seen their world fall apart. And the great prophet Isaiah rises up in the midst of that, in the midst of their desolation. And he says things like, Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened, the ears of the deaf unstopped. The lame shall leap like a deer, the tongue of the speechless sing for joy. These are falling on the ears of people in captivity. They don't hear these words and then study them. They don't try to figure out the theology of Isaiah. That's left for us in the 21st century, to figure out the theology of Isaiah. The people who heard these words, let them fall into their soul, into their heart. That's how I try over and over to read Holy Scripture. But I'm like everyone else. I didn't learn to read that way. I learned to take in information. Now, these words from Isaiah were written 700 years before Jesus. Imagine. 600 years. The people kept those words alive. The people, the common people, they weren't scholars, they didn't read, they didn't have the scriptures in their hip pocket. They took those words into their heart and lived with them for 600 years. We have such trouble taking in information at that depth. I saw the other day that on a test of American citizenship, some people who weren't applying for citizenship, or they would have done better, had questions like, who was Dwight D. Eisenhower? He was a general during Vietnam. Was the answer. We don't know how to take in information and just cling to it and let it shape us. Now, when Jesus comes, these words are finally 600 years. It's older than our country. 600 years the people had held these words in their hearts, so that when Jesus speaks them, I have come to bring sight to the blind, to unstop the deaf ears, to bring the crippled and the lame healing. When the people heard that, do you think it was a mystery? No, it's a mystery. They think, oh my God, these are the words of the Messiah. We have waited for these words for 600 years. So John the Baptist comes along, and as he watches Jesus, now he's getting information because he's in prison. He's not going to survive being in prison. So John the Baptist sends messengers because he's been watching Jesus. And Jesus has been doing these things. But Jesus is, well, maybe kind of a disappointment to John. John was expecting the great Davidic king to come and bring freedom to the captured people of Palestine. And what Jesus is doing is what Isaiah said he would do. He's helping people see what they have never seen before. He's helping people hear what they've never heard. He's picking up the lame and helping them walk. And so John the Baptist said, are you the one? Is this the way it's going to be? And Jesus reminds John of Isaiah. This is the work of the Messiah. Now all of that happens at a level that I just can't get to because I learned to read for facts. I learned to read for information. But every once in a while, something like this comes along where the Hebrew Scripture and the words of Jesus make me realize the people of God carry truth inside them. People of God carry truth inside, and so they don't have to whip out a book. They know the truth because they've carried it for so long. Now, I think maybe we can't learn how to read like an ancient Jew read. We can't perhaps even read like contemporary Jews read because they still carry much of this in their hearts. So we're left with the task to hear this, what Jesus did, to hear it, what Isaiah said, to hear it and to pull it in. Not to, study it and wonder about it, but to imagine carrying it inside for 600 years, for the rest of your life, so you'll never forget it. The eyes of the blind are being opened. Those who can't hear are being given hearing. Now, here's our problem. Well, actually, here's our challenge. If we will take those words of Isaiah and then Jesus and John the Baptist, if we can take those in, we will come to an amazing realization. And that is, in whatever year it is, 2019, these words are alive for us. Do we do anything about removing our own blindness? Can we hear things that we don't want to hear? Can we help other people hear what we don't want to hear? Now, I'm a personality type that knows what I know, and I don't like to be corrected. Yeah. I know it so well, and I can't figure out why everybody doesn't know. And so I'm one of the worst kinds of people where the scripture is concerned, to say, you better see more clearly. You better listen more carefully, because you are not the truth. You carry some truth. It's the call to all of us, not just because I confess in front of you. It's a call to all of us. It's so much more comfortable when we come to our own realizations about who we are and how we're going to make it in the world and try to convince people to do the same thing. Our way. That's so much more simple. But when we hear these words, 600 years before Christ, 2,000 years since Jesus, those words are still alive. Don't study these words. Let them come alive. And then we realize, I need to work on my own blindness. I need to listen more carefully. I need to walk with people I don't want to walk with because they might be a little scary. I don't know them. I don't want to walk with them. See? We need to turn this scripture in which is the only place we can understand it. We need to carry it in, and once we get it, then we can carry it out and help others with their blindness. Help others hear. Help others walk side by side with us. It's amazing to me. It's amazing that we this morning have heard words that are nearly 3,000 years old. And that the reason that we even know about these words is that people like us carried them in their hearts. They carried them in their souls. And once you start carrying that inside, you're no longer comfortable with seeing only the way you want to see, hearing only what you want to hear, and walking only with people you want to walk with. It quits working for you. And then you become like Jesus. You have come into the world to bring sight to the blind, hearing to the deaf, walking side by side with the lame, and aren't we all lame? And we become the fulfillment of 3,000 years of God touching people like us. I think it's amazing. I hope you think it's amazing. Because this is the truth that we come to places like this to remember when we come to this table. We come into the presence of the one who came to lead us in that very truth. Amen. Let us go forth in the name of Christ and in the power of the Spirit.
Thanks be to God. Hallelujah.